Assistant Professor Sunita Yadav from Thakur College of Engineering and Technology. I am the member of Indian Research Scholar Association on behalf of our team, on behalf of our organization. I am welcoming to the Dr. Manoranjan Sahoo sir. He is an assistant professor at University of Allahabad. He have written more papers. I have a list of sir's research paper. And about his qualification, his expertise in teaching specialization macroeconomics, international trade, basics advanced econometric, research specialization, open economics, macroeconomics, international finance, software packages, data. I could say that sir having a not a single area which is left out, the sir had to not explore. Sir have a numerous expertise in the different field. He have completed his MA from University of Hyderabad. He has also completed his PhD from the Indian Institute of Technology Madras, that is of Chennai. And also, I would like to talk about the Sir's research paper, journal article publication. Sir have published more than 23 journal research paper. There are the 75 plus citation on that. 4 index paper, 59 citations. I must say that Sir is a not, I could say that instead of Dr. Manoranjan Sahu, I will be saying Sir is a Vidwan in every field. So we were having a good Vidwan with us today. And Sir will going to talk about how the basic econometrics and its applications helps us for the research paper writing. We all are the researcher here, and I must say that we have a good expert with us because as I can see the profile of sir, I could not able to shortlist, and in each and every area, sir's expertise is literally, if I could say that, sir is really Vidwan. So we have a good Vidwan with us today to explain about the research paper writing session. So, sir, welcome you all. On behalf of our IRSA, Indian Research Scholar Association, I would like to welcome to you all our on platform. Now, the further will going to be taken by the Vikas sir. Sir, please.
Yes, now I think that we are late, so yes, sir, you can start with this answer.
Thank you so much, Professor Sunita Abhi Yadav, for the introduction. It was
Sir, it's my pleasure to have you here, to see you here, and your explanation. I could not even deliver. I am very deliberate to explain about you, but your profile it's too long that within a minute it's not possible for me to cover up.
Sunita madam, Dr. Sahu is Dr. Sahu has completed his PhD under the supervision of the Professor Suresh Babu M, who was the chief guest of our inaugural session and director of
See, sir, it
MITS.
means the first statement what I said we have a Vidwan. So definitely it is of like that we have a Vidwan here today.
thank you so much again. And also, I would like to thank Mr. Vikas Kumar for the invitation with the President of Indian the Research Scholar Association. So, shall I share the PPT?
Yes, you can.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Uh, so, I'm Dr. Manoranjan Sahu. I would like to thank each and everybody present here for this session. I joined here in Allahabad University from last 2 years. So I am teaching here. So I earlier I KIIT University, Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology, Bhubaneswar. So which is a basically engineering university. So means there I was teaching to the BTech students. But here after coming to Allahabad University, here I am teaching to BA students as well as MA students. So only after means joining Allahabad University, I started teaching econometrics. So my teacher is at University of Allahabad, Professor B. Kamaya, Professor Ken Murthy, Phanindra Goyari, from whom I learned econometrics, and at IIT Madras, I learned from my guru, Professor Sabuz Mandal. So actually, I have actually learned econometrics from him. So in today's discussion, I will focus on the basic econometrics and its application for research paper uh, writing. Actually, when I am here, I used to see that our research scholars, they are facing problems in writing the research papers in the empirical field. Although they are having good knowledge in the primary data work, but when they are switching to the secondary data, the time series data or the panel data, they are not able to apply the econometrics. So they are also very much interested in this to learn econometrics and their application. So I found that for all the research scholars who are interested to do empirical research and using the secondary data basically. So without econometrics, I think it is very difficult to write a good paper in the sense to publish in a very good journal, international journal. You need to use the advanced econometrics techniques. So here in this presentation, first I shall introduce about the econometrics. What is it meaning? Why we should read econometrics? In the next step, we'll discuss about what are the basic steps involved in the econometric analysis. Next, we'll see how to apply the econometrics in our research papers. Then we'll discuss something about the softwares, the basic softwares we need to analyze the panel data as well as the time series data. Then the writing and interpreting the result. I will do something demo work in the eViews software, and after that I will explain how to interpret the result. As you know that in many of the colleges, we don't read econometrics in the graduation level. Only in the post-graduation level, in few places, we would to actually read econometrics. Because of which, when the research scholars, they are entering to the empirical research, secondary data work, they have to face severe problem in applying, understanding as well as applying the econometrics. So in this way, this workshop, it will be helpful to our research scholars. So when we'll say econometrics, it is something different from our normal courses, like we are reading microeconomics, macroeconomics, international economics. But when we say econometrics, it is a tool, or you can say the statistical tool. So in econometrics, we are basically using the statistical tools to quantify the economic theories and test the hypothesis. Because we used to read that the law of demand, law of supply, theory of consumption, but all these theories are there. But with time, Means these theories need to be verified with the data, with the empirical models. Okay, just like our Phillips curve hypothesis or Phillips curve uh, theory that got means breakdown during the 70s. Okay, so there are theories are there, but when we'll see over time that theories that should be empirically validated because the preferences, psychology, the consumption habit, individual perceptions that need to be changing day by day. So whatever theories were developed before so many years, we should see whether those theories are actually validated in the present context or not, and that can be done by using the data as well as the econometric techniques. Then if we are meant doing so, if we are meant doing the econometric analysis or verifying or validating the theories, how it will be helpful? It will be helpful for the policymakers, policy making. Okay, then in the econometric analysis, the most important thing is the use of data. Without data, we cannot apply econometrics or we cannot do any analysis in econometrics. So basically, in the econometrics analysis, we use three types of data: cross-sectional data, time series data, and panel data. We'll discuss more about this in the next slide. And in the econometric model, we use the key terms like the dependent variable, independent variable, error term. So the dependent variable basically would be the left hand side variable, and the independent variable and error term would be in the right hand side of the equation. Okay. So what are the major steps involved in the econometric analysis? The first step is to hypothesize a model relationship using a mathematical model or exact relationship. Exact relationship means a mathematical model. If you will see a mathematical model, that will explain the exact relationship. Suppose you will say 4 plus 4, that will be 8. So this is the exact relationship. Okay. So for example, if we take the consumption function, that can be hypothesized as y is a function of x, or y is equal to alpha plus beta x. Here y is the consumption, x is the income. What are the alpha beta here in the consumption function? As you have read the Keynes psychological law of consumption, he has explained about the marginal propensity to consume, or MPC. So here the alpha is the autonomous consumption or interceptor, alpha. So it is a constant, and beta is the slope coefficient, which is called the marginal propensity to consume in our consumption function according to Keynes. Okay, so beta here is the MPC, or marginal propensity to consume. What is beta explain here? Beta will explain the slope coefficient, or we can say if the independent variable will change or income it will change, how much there will be effect upon the consumption, or you can say MPC equal to change in the consumption due to change in the income. So this is the basic the mathematical equation. So where beta it will be means lying between 0 to 1 according to Keynesian psychological law of consumption. That means how much income it will be increasing, consumption it should increase means less than that. Okay, so beta coefficient value, it should be means lying between 0 to 1. So, however, in reality, consumption not only depends upon income but also depends upon a large number of other factors like age, education, gender. Okay, so that means when we'll say consumption as a function of income, that means we are taking only single factor, that is income. At the same time, we are ignoring n minus 1 factors. That means there are n factors which may affect our consumption, but we are only including a single factor which is income, and we are omitting or ignoring n minus 1 number of other factors. So in a mathematical model, if you are estimating, so we will get a invalid result, or our means result will not be that much efficient, because here we are only assuming that consumption is a only function of income, whereas we are minus factors. So our second step will be to build a statistical model from the means mathematical model. Our means mathematical model, if we'll see, there were only y is equal to alpha plus beta x. But when we'll see the statistical model or econometric model, here we include another important term which is u, or it is called as the error term or stochastic random error term. And this term captures the influence of omitted variables on consumption. That means along with income, there are n minus 1 number of the other variables which may affect our consumption, which is there under the error term in this model. So here u or error term, it captures the age, education, gender and other factors which are also important to affect the consumption of the individual. There are two important assumptions about the error term. First assumption is the error term or the u follows a normal distribution, and the second assumption is expected value of u, it should be 0. And here expected value is expected value of u given x. So x is our independent variable. So the average of the error term, it should be 0. The third step is when you build your statistical model or econometric model, that means next step is you should collect the data about your dependent variable and independent variable. Suppose here we are having the dependent variable is the consumption, independent variable is your income. So you need the data upon consumption and income, which will discuss in the with application of e-views. I have selected some data on income and consumption, and will run the regression in e-views and explain the result. So here the next step, as I said, the collection of data, and as already we have discussed that there are three ways of collecting data in econometrics. First one is the cross-sectional data. So the cross-sectional data is collecting information from across individual at a particular point of time. So the individuals will be n number of individuals, so which will be varying, but the time period, it will be fixed. One time period, and means many individuals. If we are collecting data, it will be called as a cross-sectional data. Similarly, the second type of data is time series data. That is collecting data from a particular individual or unit across time. Over time, if you are collecting the data about a particular individual or unit, it will be called as the time series data. Here, for example, India's GDP from 2010 to 24. So every year we are collecting the data about India's GDP, but over time. So here n or individual it will be fixed, but the t or the time it will be varying. So it is called as the time series data. The third type of data is the panel data, which is a combination of cross section data and time series data, or we can say collecting data across individuals over years. So where n and t both varies. Then the fourth step in the econometric analysis is estimation of alpha hat and beta hat. That means we have to find out the estimated value of alpha and estimated value of beta. So these parameters, how to estimate these parameters or alpha and beta hat, that can be estimated using the regression technique. Then these regression techniques have two basic objectives. First objective is, or the regression analysis will do, it has two basic objectives. First objective is to estimate this regression equation if the independent variable has significant causation on the dependent variable. For example, impact of income on the consumption. So we know that from the theory, income affects the consumption. If we have the theoretical background or theoretical justification for that, then we'll estimate that the regression. We cannot randomly to two variables and do them in regression, which some of them research scholar in the initial stage they used to do. So they will take two random variables and assume that there will be some relation, and they will just run the regression. But we should not do that. We should see whether there is literature behind that, theories behind that. Then we'll do. So the first justification or first objective is to estimate if the independent variable has significant causation on the dependent variable. Second is to estimate the mean value of y given the value of x. What it means the regression? It means basically calculating the average value of the dependent variable given the explanatory variable. So that means if the income it will be increased by 1,000 rupees, how much will be the average consumption will increase? So it is basically the regression analysis. So we can say the second objective is to estimate the mean value of y given the value of x. Then the fifth stage is, or the step is hypothesis testing. So in the econometric analysis, the hypothesis testing plays a very important role. Okay. So here, what is a hypothesis? Hypothesis is a statement or guess about the population parameter beta. So here, what is our hypothesis about the beta or the MPC? Our hypothesis about beta is it should be less than 1. Okay, according to Keynes psychological law of consumption, that MPC should be lying between 0 to 1, or our hypothesis is it should be less than 1. So hypothesis testing, why it is required? So it is required to check if beta hat value obtained in the earlier step statistically less than 1. Statistically less than 1 is another thing. What do you mean by statistically less than 1? So actually, if we'll see here, it is mentioned that when we are predicting about the population parameter, population means it is a means big number. Okay, suppose India's population will say 140 crore, suppose. Okay, so if we want to see the income consumption relationship of each and every individual, if a individual's income is increasing by 1000 rupees, how much consumption it will increase? If we will you take 140 crore people and estimate this, then it can be say that it is a means population parameter. Okay, we means consider all the population, but it is not possible. So we have to take the sample and estimate that. When we will take the sample beta and estimate that, it is called a sample statistic. Okay, and we are actually comparing the sample statistics with the population parameter, and we know that if we will estimate of, if you will take different samples, we'll get a different result. Okay, from different sample you will take, suppose 1,000 people will take from various areas. Okay, then our beta value or estimated sample beta value, it can be different. So we should see that the sample beta value, it should be statistically significant. Okay, so then we can say the need for hypothesis testing arises from the fact that there are n different ways to select a sample from a population, and the value estimated from one particular sample will be different from the value estimated from a different sample, which I explained. Thus, we formulate a hypothesis for the sample statistic, that is beta hat, that we have estimated to check for the statistical significance of the true population parameter. Here, true population parameter is beta value, and beta hat is the estimated sample parameter. Then the last step in the econometrics analysis is forecasting. When we will estimate the alpha hat value, beta hat value, then for any given value of the independent variable, here income, we can estimate the value of the consumption. Say, given the values of alpha hat and beta hat in the year 2024, and the fact that the income grows by 500 in 25, we can find the value of consumption in the year 2025. Okay, understood? So here in the equation we are having y hat is equal to alpha hat plus beta hat x. X is our income. If suppose our income is 500 and we have already estimated alpha hat and beta hat, so we know alpha hat, we know beta hat, and we know the income or x, then we can find out the estimated value of y. Okay, and this will be useful for the policy change analysis. Then, so it is the overall, we understood that what are the steps in the econometrics analysis. And if we learn this econometrics analysis step by step, then how we can apply this in our research paper. Okay, or we can say application of this econometrics analysis in our research paper. So the first one is, if we learn the econometrics analysis or the regression analysis, it will help to validate the economic theories in your paper. What are the economic theories and what are its purpose? So economic theories propose relationship between the variables. So basically the theories, if we'll see, the income consumption theories, it will say that higher income will means lead to higher uh, the consumption. Similarly, demand theory, it will say if the price it will be high, demand it will be low, other things remaining constant. Supply theory will see, it will say other things remaining constant, higher price will mean lead to higher quantity supplied. Okay, so here these are the theoretical explanations. But in order to validate whether this theory is actually happening or not, we need to do the econometric analysis. Okay. The next is regression analysis is used to quantify these relationship and test their validity using data. Actually, these the relationships are actually theoretical relationship. We have to quantify this relationship. So we'll say that if income it will be increasing by 1%, how much exactly consumption is expected to increase. So we are quantifying this relationship by using the data. Second is selecting appropriate variables and data sources. So here from the econometrics analysis, we will learn or will means learn that how to select appropriate variables and appropriate data sources. Some of the people I used to see, they used to means give the data sources or citation as the means newspaper article. Actually, if you will say means newspaper article, you cannot means give a citation because they means most of the newspaper articles that will be written as personal views or means views are personal. These are not means verified. Okay, so here it is important to find out appropriate means variables and data sources. So how to identify the appropriate variables? As I earlier mentioned, the identify variables or identification of the variables should be based on the theoretical justification in prior literature. Whenever you are selecting any of the variables as independent variable for your model, you should see whether there is any theoretical justification for that or not. Okay. For example, in one of our paper, I will show you this. We have examined the relationship between remittance and trade balance analysis. Here we have taken a dependent variable as trade balance, independent variable remittance, exchange rate, GDP per capita, oil price, financial development. So all these variables are selected based on the theories as well as other empirical literature, well-known literature. We have selected these variables. Then when you have selected the variables, you should rely on the or you should use the reliable sources of data. You cannot take data from the internet from any, suppose some people have to use the Wikipedia data. So you should not use like that. You should be using the authentic sources like World Bank's World Development Indicators, IMF, UNCTAD, RBI data. All these are the authentic data you should use in your research analysis. Third application is when you will understand this econometric analysis, it will help to reporting the estimation, the technique, diagnostic check, and the result interpretation. So you can identify that means there are various econometric techniques are there like OLS, ordinary least square, ARDL model, that is auto regressive distributed lag model, NARDL model, which is highly applicable, means now means most of the researchers they are using the non-linear ARDL model, VAR model. So all these are basically used in the time series data. Similarly, in the panel data, people are using fixed effect model, random effect model, pooled OLS, GMM. Okay, these are the means models are available, and you need to justify that which model it will be applicable in your data as per your means data. If it is your time series data, you can use the time series methods like OLS, ARDL, NRDL, VAR. If it is a panel data, you can be means based on the means panel data model like FD, RD, GMM, other models. Then another important thing is that means model specification. Okay, so you should specify your means model like the trade balance model. Here it is the trade balance is a dependent variable. We have written the TPT. So which is the time series data. So we have mentioned the T, which is equal to alpha plus beta 1 the remittance inflow, beta 2 GDP per capita, beta 3 exchange rate, beta 4 oil price plus error. Then after estimating the means model, either you use the OLS, ARDL, NRDL, VAR, PDPED, random effect, any means method you use. After estimating the means method or means before estimating also, you should do the means diagnostic check. Before estimating, you should use stationary property, you should check the time dimension, other things. And after estimation or means post estimation checkup, you can see the heteroscedasticity problem, autocorrelation problem, the normality of the residual, because there are certain diagnostic checks are there for the error term, and some diagnostic checks are means there for the data, like the stationarity. You should examine for the series or your data series whether it is a stationary or not, which should be done means before the estimation. But after estimation, you will do heteroscedasticity problem, autocorrelation problem, the normality problem, which are means related to your the residuals. Okay, then result reporting. So it will be helpful for you to report your the result, including coefficient values, standard error, T stars, P values, R square, F statistics, and diagnostic test result in a tabular form. When you are writing the research paper, you will include a number of tables, at least 3-4 tables people have to report for the stationarity, for the means main result, and for the diagnostics. Then the fourth important application is the linking the result to literature and theories. I mean, most of the research scholar I would to see, because in the Indian Journal of Economics, we are having a journal here in Allahabad University. So I am doing all this screening and editorial work for that. I would to see that most of the research scholar or even the faculty members, they are directly reporting the result, and they are not explaining or linking. They are the result to the previous literature and the theories. Suppose what result you got, whether that is contradicting to the literature, or your result is in accordance with your previous literature, whether it is validating the theory or it is invalidating the theory, you should mention that in your research paper. Example, suppose our paper, that is Sahoo Padmaja, they found that or similar to the result, you can say Sahoo and Padmaja, suppose we found in another paper or some other research scholar means they will estimate the relationship between trade balance and remittance. Suppose we can report in your result section that similar to Sahu and Padmaja 2023, we find that remittances negatively affect the trade balance in the long run. So here, actually, the researcher is explaining his or her result or interpreting by linking to the previous research. Then after you interpret your result, another important thing for the empirical research is that whether it has some policy implications or not. So means based on your result, you should means recommend some policy implications. Then it will be interesting paper. Then if you see the example that is suppose we want to estimate the impact of remittance on the trade balance. Here our research question. What will be the research question? Research question will be, does an increase in remittance inflows improve or worsen India's trade balance? So it is our research question. So now we have to make a econometric model out of that. So here our main variables are the trade balance and the remittance. The trade balance is the dependent variable, remittance inflow is the independent variable. But along with this remittance inflow as independent variable, we should include also other important independent variables or control variable will say based on your previous literature. Okay. You cannot just examine the impact of remittance upon a trade balance and ignoring other important variables which have been mentioned in the literature. Here, we can use, or in our paper, we have used the NAIDL model to see whether there is any possible asymmetric effect of remittance upon the trade balance. Suppose the finding we got that positive remittance shock deteriorate the trade balance and negative shock improve it. Remittance means many people they will be knowing. I hope everybody will also be knowing. The remittance, it is the unilateral transfers when somebody from our country, from India, he is working abroad and sending money to his the family, so it will be called as remittances. Okay, so it will be a foreign currency inflow. When the remittance inflow will happening, so it will, whether it will means improve the trade balance or deteriorate the trade balance. As we know, if the dollar inflow will increase to India, India's currency will appreciate. If India's Indian rupee, it will appreciate. Our import, it will be cheaper. Export, it will be expensive. So we'll import more, export less. So our trade balance, it will be deteriorating. That means if remittance inflow to India will increase, our trade balance will deteriorate. Similarly, if remittance inflow, it is declining to India, then our trade balance will improve. This was our result. Then what will be the policy implication? One of the important policy implication is that we should channelize the remittances for productive imports. It is means not that we will stop remittances because means India is the largest remittance recipient in the world. We are means receiving the large remittances and we are means number one in it. So we should not discourage remittance inflow. Rather, we should utilize those remittances for the productive import like technology import, other means raw material import. We should not use it for the unproductive import like suppose means gold import. If you are means importing more gold, more iPhone. So means these are basically unproductive. When you are using your means remittances for importing unproductive means goods, it will deteriorate your trade balance in the long run, so you will have a huge trade deficit. So it is the policy implication. Then here it is the paper which is published in the year 2023. I hope you will find it interesting if you means read. Here we have mentioned the title as one shows another reefs, analyzing the asymmetric impact of remittance inflows on the trade balance in a large emerging economy. Actually, here the concept is that one shows, that means someone is investing, another reaps, and other person is taking all the benefits. Okay, so here we are means focusing on the brain drain. Actually, our government is investing upon our individuals, and when they are going abroad and mean doing a job under means NASA or under Microsoft or other companies, actually they are contributing means more to their country, and we are receiving only remittances which is very less, and that remittances again deteriorating our the trade balance. So here we are arguing that upon the human capital, Indian government is investing, and when those people are employed in abroad, actually benefit is means going to the means foreign countries, and whatever we are receiving, which is called remittance, again that remittance is deteriorating our trade balance. So here is the link. You can go and read in detail. Then in your research analysis, if you are doing the econometrics or applying econometrics in your research, you can be based on softwares like Stata, eViews, R. So here the Stata software is very much effective for the panel and cross-sectional analysis. eViews software is very friendly for the time series analysis, and R software, as you know, it is free and means varieties of the methods or models you can estimate, but it is little complicated, and it is mainly based on the coding. So if you are new, so I will suggest you to first start with eViews, then you can enter to Stata, then you can enter to R software. Then here, I would like to do some econometric analysis, because some people will be new here in the econometrics area. Suppose here you see here we have taken income and consumption, some random numbers we have taken, and suppose means there are so many individuals are there. Some individual is there who has no income. Suppose income is zero, like a student. Suppose you will take student who don't have income, but he would to consume suppose at least 100 rupees in a day. So even the income is zero, he is having some consumption. And when the income of the individual is increasing from 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000, 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, his consumption is also increasing from 100 to 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Now if I will ask, if the individual's income, it will be 13,000, how much it will be his consumption? Okay, so obviously somebody can easily say, as it is increasing by 100, 100, 100, and income is increasing by 1,000, so obviously the consumption, it will increase from 1,300 to 1,400. So it is the easy answer. But how will get this in our regression analysis? Okay. Now we'll estimate this in our eViews software and see how this 1400 has been estimated amount of the consumption for a given amount of income. Suppose we are having this data point up to 12,000 income and 1300 as the consumption. So here we will import this data. So for importing this data, you can just copy paste. Okay. So here the upper one is the command area. Okay. So here you should not paste your data. Here you should paste the data. So here you have the consumption and income. If we open as group, here you see income when it is 0, consumption is 100, and after that when income is increasing, consumption is increasing by 100. Now we'll estimate this. In order to estimate the regression model, so here we'll go, then or you just here you right click, open as equation, then least square, then we'll do OK. So here is the result table. In the result table, here is the income. This is the constant. Income means this is the coefficient value. Coefficient value of income is 0.1 and constant is 100. Constant, as I have explained, it is the autonomous consumption. Autonomous consumption is when the income it will be 0, how much it will be the consumption. Here if you will see, when income it will be 0, consumption it will be 100. So which is autonomous consumption or the amount of consumption which is independent of income. So here our constant term or autonomous consumption, it is 100. Okay, you found this. Next is your slope coefficient, which is the marginal propensity to consume. Marginal propensity to consume is change in the consumption when due to change in the income. When income increase from 0 to 1000, consumption increase from 100 to 200. That means income has increased by 1000, consumption has increased by 100 rupees. Earlier it was 100, another 100 has increased. So change in the income is 1000, change in the consumption is 100. 100 by 1000, it will be 0.1. Okay, that means 10% in consumption is increasing due to increase in the income. Okay, so here if we'll here our estimated alpha is 100, estimated beta value is 0.1. Now our equation it will be, so here our equation it will be write y hat will be equal to alpha hat or a hat will write plus b hat, beta hat plus x. X is your income, y is your consumption. Now alpha hat or a hat is your, how much it is? A hat, alpha hat or a hat is your 100 or autonomous consumption. Beta hat is 0.1 into your income is how much? Your income is 13,000. When your income is 13,000 and you are having estimated amount of alpha, estimated amount of beta, estimated amount of alpha is 100, estimated amount of beta is 0.1, and when your income is 13,000, here we can mention that also, 13,000. Now, if we enter this, you see, we got exactly 14,000, sorry, 1,400 rupees is our consumption, which we already wrote here. That means when we are having the estimated value of alpha, which is 100, estimated value of beta, which is 0.1, then when the income is there, that is 13,000, how much will be the estimated amount of the consumption? We can easily estimate when we are having the value of alpha hat and value of beta hat. I hope you understood this from this table, and when we estimated, we found this huge result, alpha hat as 100 and beta hat as 0.1. And when we put this in the equation, we found exactly 1,400 rupees of consumption when income increased to 13,000. Now we'll move to, here is the result table which I was showing you in the EView software. Now how to interpret this result? This result can be interpreted as, the result shows that income affects the consumption positively and significantly. So here you see the coefficient value is 0.1, and which the probability value is 0.00. That means the coefficient is significant at 1% level. Okay, because the probability value means less than 1. So the coefficient is statistically significant at 1% level of significance. So we wrote that the result shows that income affects consumption positively and significantly. Furthermore, as income increases by 1 unit, consumption increases by 0.1 unit and vice versa. So it is the interpretation of the result. So it is all about the today's presentation, because already I got the instruction that the time it will be almost 1 hour, means maximum 1 hour, which will include the question answer also. So I haven't planned accordingly. I hope it was interesting. Thank you so much.
Sakshi Singh.
So if anybody is having any questions, so you are, I'm happy to receive those questions and answer it.
Yes.
Well, thank you, sir, for your interesting session. I just wanted to know whether the model which you have mentioned, it's applicable in other than economics, statistics, it's applicable in different department or different section of studies. Like if I want to apply it in geographical study, like the software which you have mentioned, eViews, can it be applied to analyze time series data, that is rainfall data, relate with water discharge to find or to estimate flood? Can this be applied in this model?
Yeah, so as I said that when we say regression, as I have done by taking income and consumption, so here we are having the one dependent variable, another independent variable. So we are just predicting that when independent variable it is changing on an average, how much the dependent variable it will be changing. So although I don't have much idea about the other stream, like as you say, water discharge and other things. But if I can say that, suppose in the psychology, suppose as every economic student means they know that economics is means particularly a psychological thing, how individual we are thinking. So if my income is increasing by means this much, how much I am interested to spend. So we can apply in other discipline like psychology, sociology, other studies. But it means depends upon the data, which type of means data you have, and which type of means the model you want to estimate. But as review software, it is a means broader software. I assume that so it can be applicable in means different disciplines if you will means learn about this. Okay, if you are from the other discipline, you should means learn that review software, data software, whether their applicability is means there or not. So, but I am not sure. But you, if you means read, you can understand. Thank you.
Anyone? Any other have any questions, queries? Regarding the presentation and a topic, so you can discuss with sir. A participant, can you listen? Anyone have any queries or question? Otherwise, we will end the session. Okay. आज 3 सेशन हो गए हैं ना सर तो
I understand because means that this will be the means, last session I think.
yes, 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 sir, yes, sir.